Hi everyone, thank you so much for being with me today. I'm really excited to talk to you about one of the topics I get asked about all the time, which is how can I grow my presence? How can I accelerate and amplify the efforts that I'm doing on digital platforms? And I always like to set the stage by saying I would not even consider this my main lane of expertise. Our company, C-Suite Coach, focuses on training and development. However, working with digital skills has really grown my business in a tremendous way. So for any business owner, I always say for CEO, you don't have to be the one that does it all, but you have to at least have an understanding of everything, and everything plays a part in how your business grows. So this is a topic I'm really passionate about. I'd like to kick off by just introducing myself. I'm Angelina Darrisaw, founder and CEO of C-Suite Coach. We've been in business for 7 years. Thank you so much. And again, I really do credit leaning into digital skills to help grow our business. We also work with a lot of small business owners. So one of the programs that we've done has worked with small business owners to train over 100,000 Black and Latino small business owners. So really proud of our work. Now, when I get the question all the time, what should I be doing? Where do I lean in on digital platforms to grow my business? I always say, before we even go to tactics, you need to know the basics. So, what are the basics? The very first one is you have to bring value. So you cannot do anything without leading with the value that you're bringing for your customers and for those who you are trying to serve. You also want to make sure you have a goal in mind. So what are you trying to use these platforms to do? It shouldn't just be about engagement or vanity metrics like likes and follows. You want to have a goal that's going to be meaningful to your business. You also want to align with known brands. Choose the right platforms because there's so much in an ecosystem when we think about digital marketing for your business. So you want to choose the right platforms. And then you want to be creative. I'll talk about how to get creative. You want to be very authentic to yourself. No one can do it like you. They say, what do they say? You can give them the recipe, but the sauce won't be the same. So you want to make sure that you're authentic to yourself and then be consistent. Rinse and repeat. So let's talk about bringing value. This is a quote from my mentor in my head, Oprah. And she says to me all the time, she says, let excellence be your brand. When you are excellent, you become unforgettable. So the thing that you need to begin with is knowing what is your value proposition? What are you bringing that's different? We certainly have opportunity and space for everyone, but there's also a lot of competition out there. So how do you make sure that people really understand and you yourself understand clearly the value that you're bringing and what you're excellent at? One of the questions I like to ask all the time is, what is your superpower? So if you don't know, start to ask people in your circle around you, what is my superpower? And also, when we talk about having a goal in mind, it's important to be thinking that your offline strategy and your online strategy should be connected. So again, it's about driving value back to your business, to your bottom line. That's where, when we think about things like the likes, the follows, it becomes less important unless that's something that you're actually monetizing. So some of the goals that you can be thinking about, you want to think about building more awareness. I always say, if a tree falls in the forest and no one heard it, did it fall, right? So similarly, if a business launches and no one knows, did it launch? You have to make sure that people know what you're doing. And that can be uncomfortable for some of us, but we have to build awareness. We have to gain interest, make people want to actually engage with our products, our services. And then you want to close the deal. Don't just get people interested. Are you closing? Are you doing anything that drives to a conversion? And then you want to get folks so excited about what you do, they're telling everyone. You have referrals, advocates out there speaking on your behalf. They're saying, we went to the coaching booth that they had in the E-Suite and it was so good. We want to bring more people back, right? That's what you want, people promoting and amplifying for you. Okay, align with well-known brands is something else that's a great tip if you're just getting started. So when I was graduating college, I'm very, I think, street smart being from New York, but I did not graduate cum laude. So I had to think of ways to make myself stand out. And so what I did was I thought about what did I have that was different from other folks. And I had very great internships. I had interned at ESPN, Bloomberg, HBO, Fisher Price, and Haynes. So not a lot of people coming out of college had those sorts of internships. Have you all heard of any of those brands? ESPN, Bloomberg? Okay, yes, okay, good. And so what I said is, on this black and white piece of paper, the resume, how do I make myself stand out? Well, these brands are so big and they have known logos. I went ahead and I put color logos of these companies on my resume, and I got a lot of callbacks, and that's how I ended up getting my first job. So what I learned was, when people don't know who you are yet, me coming out of school, they didn't know Angelina Darrisaw yet, but they knew ESPN, they knew HBO. So I could get credibility and social proof by sharing how I'm affiliated and connected with those known brands. So that being said, one of the things we share whenever we're doing a capabilities deck, or if you went into the coaching booth and you saw our banner that we had, we'll put the logos of companies that we work with, and that helps gain credibility. And that gets other people interested to know more about what you're doing. So on your website, something that we do is we do testimonials, case studies there with clients. On your newsletter, we just launched a client corner where we'll highlight different clients and how we're working with them. So when you think about your digital ecosystem, you want to make sure that those known brands that you're affiliated with pop out as well, until they just know you're a brand, and then you can replace some of that. Now, it's a very complicated ecosystem. Just on this slide, I've listed so many different parts that are a part of that picture of what does it mean to be in digital marketing. There's so many different areas you can play. And this is where choosing platform becomes really important, because not all the time do we have all the personnel, all the time, or all the budget that we need to do everything. Because I'm so good at my craft, remember excellence, the value you bring, then that's gonna open doors for me and I can walk through that with my excellence. So I say that to say, we said it already, crowded spaces, right? A lot of competition out there. You have to get creative about how you're going to stand out. What is that thing going to be for you? I've seen on TikTok, for example, rapping chefs. They're cooking and they're rapping at the same time. There's a lot of fun, creative things that you can do. Wendy's put out a mixtape. They got beef with Burger King, okay? So you can get creative. What are you gonna do for your brand that makes you stand out in crowded spaces? A quote from another one of my besties in my head is Bozoma St. John. She talks about, there's nothing more badass than being who you are. I'm a force of nature in stilettos. So I also want you to think about, how do you make sure you're showing up as you? What worked for someone else? When you see Bozoma in a room, you always know her because she's always showing up as herself. And that's been consistent with her since she became known to many of us, right? So you have to think about, what is that for you? How are you going to be authentic to yourself? And that's why where the tactics, post this amount of times, do this, may not always work. You have to come up with your own rules that fit your brand. Another video, watch it later, it's really funny. So you can trial a lot of things on platforms as they're just getting started. And DJ Khaled had viral moments, if y'all remember, another one, we the best. Don't let the door close on you. We walk through the doors. Just great sayings, it's very funny. And so he was able to use Snapchat to gain a huge following, and really it cemented him. We knew who he was a little bit, but that cemented him. So you can definitely use these platforms to grow your brand, and also he put out merch. He started monetizing that. So something else that you can be thinking about are, when I'm growing my brand, there's dollar opportunities that are often associated with it. Then last but not least, I want you to think about being consistent. So some of us may wake up and think about this every day, and there are some of us with everything you have also so much on your plate as a business owner, it's hard to find the time. But I put a little scale here. If you're on the 1 to 2, 3, what is a brand? I never think about my brand. You're on the lower side of the scale. I want you to challenge yourself to move the needle and just take one action to get yourself being more consistent and working with it on a regular basis. Really, where you're trying to be is that everyone clearly understands the value, the excellence, your superpowers of your work, and they're bringing more clients to you because they understand that really clearly. So you have to be consistent, and it's those small actions every day. Maybe that video doesn't go viral like DJ Khaled's. Okay, that's okay. But it's those consistent steps that will lead to your overnight success that we know takes time. So that being said, I know I'm holding you between the rest of your concert experience. I want to thank you for your energy, your attention, and being with me here today, and I wish you all the best of luck. And there is our contact us page. So thank you all. I don't think we have any time for questions, but I will be available with, oh, we do? Okay. I did, okay, we have time for questions. Questions. Awesome, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I spared you some of the slides in the interest of time, but there's actually research. Inc. magazine put out an article about how you can actually build opportunities in your career. Right now, employers are leveraging Google to do research on you before they hire you and make hiring decisions. So being aware of even your own digital footprint as an individual is also linked to your financial opportunities, right? Employers are looking at that before they hire you. Also, we pivot in life, right? You might be doing one thing now, we talked about this a lot in the E-Suite today, and want to do something else later. Having a brand of excellence is what helps you to transfer opportunities. So if you're moving from being full-time to being a business owner, or being from an executive to being on a board, your resume of excellence, not the actual paper, but what people say about you and see, and you thinking about it really intentionally helps you drive opportunities. Thank you.